The realm of knowledge is the last valley of limitation. It's not that knowledge isn't good, but we put too much emphasis on information when what we need to have is more emphasis on significance of the information or what to do with the knowledge we have. Now, the veil of divine knowledge is actually the guidance to know what to do with what we have. We need divine knowledge or wisdom to use our other knowledge well. So, how do we gain the divine knowledge? With the fire of love for the truth, the fire of love to know what can we do to make a difference, the fire of love of what has God given me that I am to use in His service. What do I see that needs to be done? Instead of thinking other people should go do it, what is it I see that I should be doing? But it's that fire for the love of the beautiful truth. Find out what moves you, and you'll find your joy.
I want to pick out one of the words. Earlier you had talked about fear of God. And I think fear, there are certain words that come up through the writings that, kind of make us sit up a little bit because we have all these connotations that are associated to the word. And I think another one is, or the two that you've actually highlighted, burned and fire.
Yes.
So it almost seems aggressive, like burn the veils of glory with the fire of the beauty. So if you can illuminate kind of the interpretations of those words.
First of all, the veils of glory are generally illusions that we have about life, taught to us by our family, by our schools, by all manner of societal input. They actually inculcate illusionary perceptions of reality. When we love the beloved, when we love the Lord of this age, when we recognize who has come into the world, that the greatest event in the history of humanity has occurred. The Lord of Lords and the King of Kings has appeared with the beautiful truth about life and all that goes with it. The divine unity of all reality has been revealed. The fire of that truth can pierce away the illusionary world, and is replaced by His vision, by His beauty. And we become, now here's what's interesting, to the world we become fire. We burn away the illusions that others have. This is truly what teaching is, as we're going to see here in a few minutes. That real teaching is not passing out information. It's burning away the illusionary world. For a person who is seeking God and seeking truth, they have to have their illusions burned away. And this is what God has come to help you and I do, is burn away the illusionary world so people can see more clearly.
So we continue with quote 53. And I saw heaven opened, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire.
This is a quote from Revelation about the return of Christ. And sadly misunderstood by the generations of the past. But today we can understand that when He comes, He's faithful and true to everything we ever knew was right and beautiful of the past. And He comes with a righteousness that we are to have in our lives. And according to the righteousness He's basically judging. But it's kind of like our righteousness carries the battle of God to the peoples when they see we're able to live above the corruption. And then His teachings, His vision of existence are the eyes that burn with fire. And He passes that on to us so that our eyes become flames of fire. But that's one of the signs of the coming of Christ when He comes, that He will burn away the illusions of the world. Now, Baha'u'llah actually refers to this passage, and he says, now if you actually, because it goes on to say, out of his mouth goes forth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. Well, this is his teachings, his word that goes out and we take it to the people. Well, he said, if you actually saw this creature coming, eyes like fire, mouth with a big sword, you would run to the next village and tell them to run for all they're worth. Meaning, don't take this literal. Seek the meaning of such phrases. Once you see the meaning, the universal truth of it, it becomes so fascinating and beautiful. So, just as he has eyes of fire, when we take on his vision and his truth, we gain the access to the flame of fire, and then we go on to the next verse.
Quote 54, say, teach ye the cause of God, O people of Baha, for God hath prescribed unto every one the duty of proclaiming his message, and regardeth it as the most meritorious of all deeds.
Teach the cause of God, and it's the most meritorious of all deeds. All of us have heard of this, but read the next passage, one we have not always heard.
Quote 55, what veils of glory more grievous than these embodiments of error? By the righteousness of God, to pierce such veils is the mightiest of all acts, and to render them asunder the most meritorious of all deeds. May God assist us and assist you, O concourse of the Spirit, that perchance ye may, in the time of his manifestation, be graciously aided to perform such deeds, and may in his days attain unto the presence of God.
Now, this is either a typo by Baha'u'llah, or it changes what it means to teach, suggesting that Baha'u'llah doesn't make these mistakes. Then we have to see something, that teaching the cause is to pierce the veils that the clergy have created for the people, and the politicians have created for the people, etc., and pierce these veils of illusion. This is called teaching, and this is the most meritorious of all deeds. And you notice it says, may God assist us and assist you, O concourse of the Spirit. He doesn't say, O concourse of knowledge. These are the ones who have gained the fire themselves. Their hearts have been ignited with the fire of the Spirit, and they're the ones that can really do a job in burning away veils. So it's time for us to move from the valley of knowledge to the valley of unity, to the valley of faith and power.